This photograph depicts Tauba and Jakob Bروکیر on their wedding day in the Biała-Podlaska ghetto in 1941. The date that's included on the reverse is September 10th. They are surrounded by family members, smiling, and the only individual who is wearing an armband is the man who's been identified as sort of carrying out the wedding ceremony. This photograph is taken within 6 months of the official forming of the Biała-Podlaska ghetto. Up until this point, there were transports of Jewish men to forced labor. I believe by the end of 1941, there had already been initial transports to Auschwitz. So it is happening at a time where persecution is intensifying. People were being separated from loved ones. It's an unusual photograph because it was sent from German-occupied Poland to relatives who were in Italy. And of course, Germany and Italy were part of Axis forces and allied, so there wasn't as much disruption in mail. We would otherwise not know that these family members existed, and it provides insight into the ordinariness of daily life that was still, to some degree, possible even under German occupation. People were continuing to have relationships, to fall in love, to be married, and to celebrate with their loved ones. It touches upon a desire for a future that those pictured did not have. We know very little about their lives, and there is nothing to suggest that any of those who appear in that photograph survived. I will say it serves in contrast to other photographs that we have from Biała-Podlaska in this period. Recently, we also acquired photography of a propaganda company member, and it too shows scenes from Biała-Podlaska. In the private correspondence of this individual, he's writing with contempt for the community that he's encountering and the conditions that they're living in. And again, it's a consequence of German occupation that those who are pictured are being sort of further reduced in their quality of life. There was a final liquidation of the ghetto in 1943. We have no way of knowing whether those who are photographed in this picture were even alive at that time. When going through the personal papers of the Schatzenbonder family, there were few photographs to begin with, and this happened to be the only photograph that was wartime and from German-occupied territory. We would not have anticipated finding a wedding photographed at that time, and certainly to have been attended by so many loved ones who were smiling, who were enjoying that day. And it shows a multi-dimensionality to static images in the way that propaganda photography might want to convey a fixed picture of a community, of a person. This is much more unexpected, and it raises questions about what we no longer have a record for. The photographs that were taken and don't survive, that never reached a loved one in another country and were able to be saved. So I really wanted to select this photograph just as a reflection of how individuals who were often photographed as types saw themselves and what they could still communicate about their lives. And I think we forget that it was still possible to take photography even in a ghetto setting. Certainly some of that carries on clandestinely in other contexts, but this seems to have been more spontaneous. And the fact that it could be printed as a photo postcard and mailed to relatives, I think challenges what we might conceive of those environments.